is Jimmy's lack of a father figure. No, I'm not going to buy that as an excuse because I never had a father from the age of 14. And the stepdad I had, no offense to the Risens, Johnny was not too good to me. The notorious Johnny Bolin, as I ended up naming him. We got close once I got in wrestling because when Chris was born, Johnny wanted to be a part of his life, or dad. And I called him dad. Shit, he raised me since I was 2 years old. We had some bad times, real bad times. And he had an alcohol problem. And wow, didn't expect to go here today. It was a rough childhood, and rougher than even most Risens know, because I hid a lot of that shit. And it wasn't sexual abuse, anything like that, but the verbal and physical abuse sometimes was more than most kids had to deal with. But a lot of Risens had to go through that. A lot of the Risens raised their kids the way they were raised. And I told my ex-wife and I told my son Chris, as he was growing up, that I actually thanked Johnny for the way I was raised, because, and this is going to sound terrible, it taught me everything not to be in a father. And I'm doing good, Alistair. Thank you for asking. But he showed me a lot of shit not to do. And don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs. I think, to my knowledge, the only thing Dad touched as far as that shit was marijuana. And he did that when I was like 13 or 14. I think he decided to try it. And it ended up leading to divorce and all that stuff. And Mom put up with a lot of shit. And some people blame Mom for putting up with a lot of shit. And Flash is on next week. Yes, he is. And I'm telling his sob story here, and everybody's wanting to know when Flash is going to be on. Appreciate it. Chris Schmidt, what is your logo on Facebook? Oh, okay. He's talking to Chris Schmidt. Okay. See why I don't read comments? I probably shouldn't read the goddamn things. But then again, I like the fan interaction. But no, Johnny showed me everything not to do. And then once Chris was born, Dad wanted to be a part of his life. And I said, I'm not going to let you be a part of his life unless you quit drinking. I said, because you're drunk every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and hungover on Monday, and can't wait to start drinking again on Friday. I said, I don't know where and how I can let you be a part of his life. And you hear the dogs barking out something out the window. And I want you to know that he quit drinking. And when he was 6 weeks clean, he contacted me. He said, son, I want you to know I quit drinking, and I really want to be a part of your and Chris's life. He says, here you are doing wrestling. You're on television. I'd love to come to your shows. And I want to prove to you that I'm a changed man. And he did. He never touched another drop from when Chris was born till the day he died. And he died of cancer here several years ago. And we got pretty close after that. I invited Dad to all of my shows. I let him be a timekeeper and bell ringer at several of the Smoky Mountain shows. Let him do that. And he just loved it. And he got to meet a lot of the big stars, and he got to meet Jerry Lawler and Jim White and a lot of the guys that were big stars in Knoxville, and Tommy Rich, and all the various people that went through Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And it was, he really changed. He really did. So I don't hate him. I hate how he raised me. But then again, he showed me some shit that I knew not to do with Chris. And for those of you that want to know who, and I may have told this on some other podcasts before, I've certainly told Chris and my ex-wife, I based my fatherhood, my example, and you're going to die when you hear this, my example of y'all do this to me a lot, of how to be a father, because my childhood was a little rough. But the father I saw on television that I wanted, it's a shame at age 60, this shit still gets to you. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all know this shit happens every now and then. Um, the example of a father that I wanted as a kid uh, was Dick Van Dyke. And that was the example. I got the invisible rag tonight. You got to love that. That's the only thing funny about this. Got the invisible rag. It's lime green. So I'm sorry, guys. Um, it was Dick Van Dyke, for those of you that have never seen it, and I bet most of you have. The reason I used him as an example to raise Chris was that Richie, his son, wasn't particularly smart, didn't do good in school. And no matter what Richie did, no matter how smart he was, no matter how good he was at something, Dick Van Dyke always loved his kid, no matter what. You'd think I'd just hit the off button on this shit and just go cry somewhere and be done with it, but I don't. He loved his kid no matter what. And every day when he came home from work, he always had a little surprise for Richie. It was never anything big. It wasn't like he's bringing him an N64 or anything like that. But every day, Richie would meet him at the door and he'd say, "Daddy, what do you have for me today?" And of course, Dick would act like he didn't have anything and he would start searching his pockets, or he'd have Richie search them. And he would find something. And it was, it might be a box of Cracker Jacks. It might be a baseball card. Could be anything. But he loved his kid no matter what. No matter how smart, no matter what he accomplished, he was still the most important thing in his world. And as a child, I didn't have that. I pretty much had it from my mother. My mother thought I hung the moon. But then again, I didn't realize for a long, long time that Johnny was my stepdad. And I think many times he just alienated me or did not like that he was not my father, even though he gave me his last name. I always knew. God, how did y'all get me here? I always knew. I lost 5 of you, by the way. Don't blame you. I'd leave too. I always knew that Janice was his favorite. And I didn't have a problem with that. I understood it. Even at a young age, that's his daughter. I didn't even find out that Johnny was my stepdad till I was 7 or 8. I was probably close to 8 years old. And even then, I didn't even act like I knew it because I was scared I'd get beaten if I ever referred to him as stepdad, or if I ever said, "You're not my real dad," or anything like that. I never fucking dreamed of doing that shit because I didn't know what it was going to get me. But he could be a mean father. And there were times he was good when he wasn't drunk. But man, if he was drunk, he was a mean drunk. And that's why I'm so desperately against alcoholism and anybody that did it. And I used to be very judgmental of drug addicts and alcoholics. And now I've learned to have some compassion for them because I've realized it's a disease. And I realized that the person that they are when they go through that shit is not really them. And Johnny showed me that. When he got off alcohol, he became an entirely different person. And Chris taught me a lot about it too, because Chris got into working at some rehab centers and he used to attend AAA meetings and he worked for Central State. And a lot of our opinions on drug addicts and alcoholics changed dramatically when Chris was working in it. And then I think they understood a little bit more about why I forgave Johnny. Even though I don't think Chris or Maya ever did, they even though Johnny changed for Chris, Chris still has a lot of animosity towards him, but I don't. I don't, because the problem was the alcohol. When he wasn't on alcohol, he was a different guy. Not perfect, but who the fuck is? I'm going to try and look at some of your comments here. No, I'm not ashamed about it, because that's why I keep the camera rolling when shit like this happens. Like when I went through the shit with my mom, when I lost the friendship with Jimmy. I'm sure there's been a couple of other occasions. When I revealed that I had an uncle who twice tried to sexually molest me when I was a kid. He wasn't successful. I can't imagine how fucked up I'd be if he was, because it fucked with me enough that he tried. And his last name was Risen, and there's only maybe 4 or 5 people on the planet Earth that knows who it was, because I never told anybody, because I knew that nobody believed me, especially not the Risens. But there's some Risens that believe me now. And I've only revealed the name to maybe 3 or 4 people. How you doing, Jamie? Do I mean double A? Yeah, triple A. I'm sorry, triple A is a travel agency. Alcoholics Anonymous, I should say. Yeah, if I said triple A, I apologize for that, and I probably did, because Jamie called me out on it. No, it wasn't the travel agency we were trying to help. It was Alcoholics and Alcoholics Anonymous. Thank you, Ryan. Anybody that works with kids or even adults, man, I appreciate it. Man, Kingpin, I don't know if it's brave or not. Even though I guess I wish more people did it, and I wish more people were believed when they talked about shit like this. And man, here's why I try not to have too much pity about it. I got off easy compared to a lot of kids. The beatings weren't as bad as a lot of kids got. The verbal abuse wasn't as bad as a lot of kids got. We had a lot of financial trouble back then. I lived in, God, 14 homes in 16 years. And because Dad was a farmer, and he went to where the work was, and that was 14 homes in 16 years. And I think 12 of those homes were in the metro area of Oldham County and LaGrange. And man, thank you guys. I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate it. I know it's a struggle to forgive alcoholics, and but apparently it's hard to give up. And my son was my motivation for Johnny to give it up. And Jake says his dad was an alcoholic. I know Jake has had some issues dealing with the loss of some family members, and then Jake and I have become pretty good friends over on Twitter. And he's going to do a Twitch show with me. I don't know how many it's going to draw. We don't seem to get too many viewers on Twitch. Maybe we can build that eventually. And I'm sorry for Jennifer. I think Jennifer down in the Philippines just learned some things about me she probably didn't know. And Jennifer and I, we cried together. We cried together the other day, because she told me some personal things going on in her life that really affected me pretty bad. And we had a good cry together. And the next day was a lot better, because we got some stuff off our chest that we needed to talk about with our personal lives. Man, I didn't mean for this to be a fucking cry fest, guys. I'm so sorry. We'll try and pick this mood up here in a little bit. I don't know if I was the king of Leclerville. I was pretty young then, and I didn't like going there at all. Oh God, I'm a mess tonight, guys. It does look like it's not a towel. It's actually a washcloth. There we go. Now I'm headless. There we go. Now when I don't want y'all to see me cry, I can just do this. There we go. Shit. So, thank you, Jennifer. I'm proud of you too, sweetie. You're a good girl. You're a good person. And the thing is I kind of forced Jennifer to talk about some things that she didn't want to talk about, because we had kind of been teasing about those things for a few weeks, that there were some things we needed to talk about in her personal. It was mainly her personal life is what we were talking about, not so much mine. So that's why she's seeing some of this here tonight for the first time because I don't talk about it too much. And I don't even know how y'all got me there. And I know y'all tune in here to be entertained and to hear some jokes and have some fun. And headless Bolin. A lot of you would say that might be the best Bolin version there is. The best version of Bolin there is. There we go. Oh, boy. Let me try that again. We need a laugh or two tonight. Hang on here. Headless Bolin, or at least faceless Bolin. Can I go without a head? I can't totally. I can lose the face, though. I can do that. Here we go. See, I still got my tongue, and y'all don't even know. Man, if I could just get some neon green gloves and this, I can be the invisible Bolin. We can do that. Here we go. Ta-da. We got to have a laugh or two, guys. I didn't mean for this show to go there. And but if it helps any of you that reflect on shit in your past, and that's how I get through this shit, guys. I don't get depressed or down very often. And I'm not depressed now. It's just sad sometimes to reflect back on some of the shit that the man with no face. So that would be an improvement, some of you would say. Yeah, I'm going to be all right, man. I always am. Anna knows a lot. Anna was around for a lot of that. And Anna probably knows a few Ryzens that have had alcohol problems. And it's not an exclusive Ryzen situation. Here, I'm going to blow this screen up even bigger so I can read the... Uh-oh, what did I do? I fucked up. That was an accident. I think I clicked YouTube and it brought something up. Oh, okay. I got to hit this button to do what I want to do. There we go. All right. Now everything's even bigger. I just hit F11 and it blows everything up bigger. And hell, I can damn near read the comments without glasses, but my eyes are a mess right now. Let's see. Where are we at? We're going to try and pick this thing up a little bit.